Okay, good evening and welcome to Mono's featuring me, Mo. I'm a little scared because I don't know if it's doing the duplicate thing. So now I'm gonna test it. Featuring me, Mo. I'm a little scared because I don't know if it's doing the duplicate thing. So now I'm gonna test it. Featuring me, Mo. I'm a little scared because I don't know if it's. I think it's safe. Tell me if it's safe now, Karen, if you hear it and repeat the part where I say your name. Because I forgot to come on my headphones. Hey, Carla. Hey, Miss Karen. So I guess I'm not heard in duplicate. So I could get started. That's what's up. But I don't know why I forget to turn the darn camera on. Hold on. That's the only thing I didn't test. All right. Today I changed the scenery because these people be killing me. So I decided to be a little petty. No echo on your end either. All right. So I decided to be a little petty today and I went in my archives of pictures. Cause I had heard. I just wanted to go down memory lane. I don't know if I ever showed y'all my new Louis when I went and got my wallet. But I guess now I'll show it. I don't remember if I ever did. But yes. I just I just saying because people say things around here and I don't know. I be hoping they don't be talking about me, but if they was, I just want to come back outside and remind people that when you go to the Louis Vuitton store, not Louis, but Louis, when you go to the Louis Vuitton store, you form an account. And on your account, it tells you every item that you've ever purchased with them. So I don't have to prove myself to anybody, but always remember that there's going to be a receipt somewhere, somehow. Anyway, this one, I purchased this one pre-loved. So I didn't go to the Louis Vuitton store for this. I purchased it pre-loved. Oh, maybe I should show y'all something. Because I had to download this app to test your thing to see if it has the chip in it. I downloaded an app to do that and get the serial number off your thing. Shout out to other YouTubers. But this one I bought, well, like with all of my Louis, I buy them to go with my hey, I'm her. Long time no see, girl. Ooh. So I bought my Louis, right, to go with my planners. I ain't gonna go all into it. So my Hobonichi weeks, and it's almost Hobonichi season time, is in here. Let me just make sure y'all can't see no numbers or anything. So my Hobonichi weeks, which is Pennington Fair, is in here, and I got it for in here, and a real fountain pen. I just Cause I just be saying things, people want to be journaling now and having, some life stories. They trying to record a document. But I do this in my real life. This is me. So anyway, in my Louis, um, yeah. So I got this one for the beginning of the year. I acquired this wallet for the sole purpose of storing my Hobonichi weeks inside of it. And in the yeah, and I'm gonna use it for next year too. So I love it. I loving it. So I got my Hobonichi weeks inside there, and I also got it with my fountain pen. I got this fountain pen earlier this year too. Did I get this? I might have got this late last year, but it just goes so nice with it. And then I got the other planner cover, whatever. Now, I got my eyes on another planner cover, and it is God, if I get my hands on it, I'll be y'all be the second to know. But I'm gonna get it with my bonus money. It's my bonus. It's what I'm getting. See, I get so happy when I talk about my planners. But yeah, so it's the size of it is gonna be the A it's gonna be an A5 Slim. It came out last year. It's called the Emily. It's the Louis Vuitton Emily. I went and I saw it last year, but I didn't have a planner that fit in it. My Hobonichi Weeks was too, it wasn't fat enough, it wasn't long enough. It looked awkward in there. So I was like, I need to find a book that fits in there, a journal that fits in there. And guess what? I have searched the World Wide Web and they've made one. This right here is not, this is my cheek sparrow. Ugh. And it's got my planners inside of it too. Shout out to you, LMNOP. Thanks for coming over. So in here, I also have my Hobonichi. This is an A6. I didn't mean to come up here today talking about my planners. But know that I'm a planner girl and I write in my planners and I'll be serious about my planners. All right? Don't hate on the process. All right. I am for the month of whatever that is, the month of September. September 1st is Hobonichi Day. And that's when you get to place your new orders for your Hobonichis for the for the following year, 2026. And I have no idea what I'm gonna I have no idea which ones I'm gonna get other than because the previews is out this whole month. And I know I'm getting a weeks to go in there. I might either get it's some kind of it's like in a gold color, yellowish color, or I'm getting the purple one. So it's like it's between the two of them. Um, Actually, I'm probably getting both of them, but one will be in a weeks and the other one will be in a mega because I think I'm gonna use the mega for my YouTube channel, but I'm not really sure about it. And I need another one so in my life, I need a planner for the office. I know this is so crazy. But shout out to Mo, because I'm just being original here. I need a planner for the office. I need a planner for my personal life. I need a planner for my YouTube channel. I need a planner for my Mary Kay business. And I need a planner for my finances. So in my wallet is my finances. But this year, because my wallet didn't fit the Hobonichi Mega, I had to put my weeks in there, and the weeks is the one that has the Mary Kay. I don't like going to Mary Kay stuff and pulling out the Louis Vuitton wallet, but that's what it's about. And I did lose a wallet. I lost a small leather goods because of a thief. Someone stole it, man. They stole my shit. My shit. I'm telling you, they stole it. So I've just come down from that high. But what I realized was I didn't really need three of those small leather goods. It was excessive, and that's what the problem was. I have one holding my, I got one for the key fob, boop, 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 boop. Then I had one specifically with keys in it, my key clay. And then I had one more that was for my earphones. Yeah, I stole it from Sakina because she lost hers. Shout out to her somewhere. And listen, if you get offended, it was just a freaking joke. Get thicker skin around here. I'm just saying, because next thing you know, somebody will be mad at me. And they'll be like, and then somebody else will be up there on their thing talking about your whole chat is filled with the cemeterians and you're not calling them out. I don't really understand. I really don't understand people. I don't understand people. So this is what this is what y'all showing me. But hold on a second. Y'all giving off an energy, right? And here's the energy that y'all giving off. You giving off an energy that is basically saying, listen, if I can't, this is the energy y'all sending off. It's like, hey, Mo, I can't mess with you because I don't even really want to give you too much. I don't even want to give you too much attention on it because it's showing me the type of person that you are. And the best way that I can describe it is as long as the people you don't like aren't around the person that you are pretending to like, you good with that environment, but then you don't even show up. So that's like being in a relationship with somebody and you are calling them your man, but you never go out on a date with this mofo. You never are seen on a town with him, but he drops by and gives you phone calls or whatever, and you in a relationship and you sitting up here claiming the person. But the minute you go out and you start dating somebody else and really seeing somebody and everybody see you, you know, on some, then there's a problem. You want to come around and claim the relationship. No, I'm going to need you to keep it on the down low like you was keeping it before. You understand the shit crazy around here. It's really people act like they own other people's movements. He's a grown ass adult. I never been in that kind of family. What are y'all doing around here? Who made who made up these rules of engagement? Because they definitely need some tweaking. They definitely need some tweaking. You share something on your community wall, and all of a sudden, the 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 ops, right, want to point out that you shared something on your community wall and want to ask the other people, professional instigators, hey yo, why you ain't saying nothing about that? Why y'all not up in arms about that? Distractions. Don't let nobody distract you from what you're doing because they want to be miserable and see you upset. They want to cause division amongst you and the people you F with just for the hell of it. I mean, one thing, and I know some people going to get offended about me saying this, when people are dead, they're not harmed. They're not in harm's way. I know you feel disrespected, but I'm gonna tell you, if they made it to see Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, if they are sitting at the right hand of the Father, guess what? They in a better place than where we are at. Even though I saw somebody do some medium around here and they try to tell us that Biggie Smalls was in hell. I was like, I need to get this out of my stream. But with all due respect, and I know it's hard because I've been there with people disrespecting my deceased parents on here. But the bottom line is they ain't being disrespected no more. And I'm sorry to tell you this. They're not being disrespected anymore. The person being disrespected is the person who's doing the disrespecting. Yeah. Yeah, them the people. They gotta live with that shit they do. And they gotta live with that shit they say. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people around here that done kick the bucket. And I know there's gonna come a time when I might have a memory lane. And I might not be so nice about it. But at the end of the day, however I put that out here, that's gonna be how it looks upon me. I gotta wear that attitude. I gotta wear that approach. Nobody else is gonna wear it. People have histories. Shit, imagine what they're going to say about you. Hey, Vonnie, imagine what they're going to say about you when you're no longer here. Imagine. Man, you think you can control that? Mm-mm. But I'm going to give you a challenge. When you kick the bucket, come back and get at them. Get at them. Come on the internet. I don't care what you do. Turn off their live stream. Do something. Get at them. Let us know that you are in the presence of this mess. So that when this shit is going down, people could be like, oh, wait a minute. Momo just came through. Don't you see the live stream went left? Like, do something. I don't think you're gonna have that. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't coming back to fuck with y'all. I, I'm gonna be too busy trying to protect my loved ones, my kids, making sure that whatever it is, if I get to come back, first of all, if you get to come back as a spirit, I'm gonna tell you right now, that means you are in limbo. And I don't really want to be in limbo. When I go, I just want to go. I want to go in peace, not in pieces. I don't want to be sitting here being reminisced on. I don't want to hear about somebody mad or wanting to tell other people that they didn't love me enough because they wouldn't pay for my funeral. You didn't pay for it either. So what the fuck? Like nobody's caring about none of wherever people are resting at, they are happier today because they are in eternity. Anyway, why I tell that little eternity story? But there are some people that are super sensitive. Permission to speak honestly. So here's the real talk about that. Everybody done seen everybody fall out with everybody. Or somebody or some of the people, but they done seen your bad moments with some people and your good moments with some people. I don't know what to tell you. If you keep living in your past, you're never going to enjoy your future. And today is going to be miserable because you're going to be spending today talking about all that other stuff that don't even make no kind of sense. I feel like I did something wrong to that thing there. Anyway, I'm a chain one. Hold up, I gotta turn. I feel like I did something wrong to that guy. And I had to beg my way back to Motown. No, you don't have to. I'm changing Motown. Let me tell y'all why I'm changing Motown. When I saw on Sean Combs, one of the entities they sued was Motown. So I'm gonna have to do a shift with Motown. I'm thinking about I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. Because people want to try to steal what they're going to steal anyway. They will steal anything that you don't tie down. But I'm thinking about from the courtroom to the courtyard. So this is Mo's courtyard. I'm still dealing with court themes. So I'm thinking about from the courtroom to the courtyard. So welcome to Mo's courtyard. But we'll see how that turns out. Oh, maybe this will work out. So see how I gotta look at the daggone thing? So and that's it. I know it sounds good. Ellen, nah. Did you get my email yesterday, LMNOP? Um, so all right. So now I'm gonna come over here and see how that is. So that's chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm chaining 7 and I'm turning. And then I'm gonna do, that's the single crochet space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you say? Oh yes, you saw it. All right. Hey Sam, what's up, Sam? Um, yeah, I mean, I will definitely. I really wanted to say some things to Era Black yesterday, but I didn't want to say some things. Again, I'm working on protecting my peace. And that's about it. And when people let me just tell you, these people will do stuff to you. Like you could just hear people under their breath, right? I get invited on a panel and I'll be like, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm just gonna stay here, hang out in the chat. Yeah, I know. She ain't gonna come up here with me. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna hold you. No, I'm not. I'm really not gonna do that. You know why? Cause there comes a point in time when I gotta respect myself more to know that I'm not gonna just be out in the public showing off and showing out to corpse. And that's just about it. And guess what? This is my shit, and I can say whatever I want to say over here because I'm not, being disrespectful over there. And I only saw you over there, and I wasn't disrespectful over there. But these old bitches, they be thinking they could say anything to you, run up some shit, tell you was talking about, like they be like, you been talking under my clothes. I, yo, I just be like, you can't even say nothing to you can't even say anything. You can't even have a response. So sometimes, but when I'm not liked, I ain't going. And that's just about it. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I'm somewhere first and somebody show up, they better show politely and do like I did. Because, see, I'm not going to give a person I'm not going to intentionally give you the opportunity to fuck with me. You know why? Because digital squabbles don't turn into nothing. They really don't. Unless you get somebody that's always screaming And listen, we got a weirdo still around here, right? Always telling people to pull up, show up at McDonald's. I guess I don't know. You At the end of the day, if you didn't see the Manny case, right? If you didn't see the Manny case and realize that digital squabbles can turn deadly and go from, because that case is going from the internet all the way to he's going to be a death row inmate. Well, I was going to say Chick-fil-A, but I just decided to leave some stuff alone. But Manny, that whole Sin City Manny case, that's going all the way to be a death penalty case. Now, I'm going to say this. I believe that in that man's mind, he felt attacked, assaulted by the other platform people, and he did whatever he felt he needed to do, and he's going to have to live with that decision, because at the end of the day, all of them are deceased. The Finleys are gone. His platform is gone. Like, so the content creator's gone, his wife is gone, the platform that they was on is dormant, and the guy that took him out, his platform is gone. He's incarcerated for life, and his wife is, I read some stuff. She basically turned him in. You understand? Because nobody, I don't know, the police, if we were to believe that. But at the end of the day, no, I had to post it because I can't. I'm not gonna say it out loud. But if you could read it, be my guest. But I do agree. I do agree. But they was just meeting at the McDonald's, I guess, this last time around. I don't really know. I only hear bits and pieces of stuff because I don't even want to get in. I don't even want to get involved. But all I have to say to the couple is I know the husband is driving trailers, and he got his CDL and he's doing the damn thing. Don't get caught up in don't get caught up on the machine factory person's time. Don't get caught up on them people's times, right? I just don't understand for the life of me how someone is allegedly moving on in their life, right? They're just repeating cycles, right? But they some people don't feel fulfilled in life unless they are tagged on or attached to somebody else. They need somebody to complete them. Right? So while somebody is getting completion, because we done seen the cleanup. They done got cleaned up, scrubbed up, bedded down, some place to live, some wheels that are not attached to a quarter machine to plug in somewhere. You understand? They done did some self-improvement, right? All the way around. Should I should have got the comedian of the year. Why you messing with KK? See, y'all just be doing too much. But somebody done got cleaned up, scrubbed up, whatever it is, right? And now they're gonna be thing, but they doing the same thing. They worrying about the same people. There's no way I moved on in my life and I'm gonna sit up here and worry about people that can't do shit for me. There's no way. There's no way. Like there's some people when and this is the truth that the truth of the matter is when they can finally be at peace, finally move on, they find themselves still stuck talking about what coulda, woulda, shoulda been their life. When they are embarking on making new memories and the whole 9 yards, but they still content on you don't have to prove anything to anybody but yourself. And if you're on this internet spending your time in the digital space trying to prove yourself to people that you will never meet. You won't even meet them for that confrontation. Nobody in their right mind is driving nowhere to meet no one after the Manny situation. And I want to make it very clear nobody in their right mind is going to meet up with anybody on this from the social media space with the intentions of shooting them because they got a cage blah from the police department that they could just go ahead and do that. No one's in their right mind is doing that. Now, somebody in their wrong mind might do that, but nobody in their right mind is going to do that. So remember, if you go out here and you keep telling folks, come, hit up, meet me up, and this and that, we're going to see how that story ends one day. And let me tell you about Tennessee laws, right? Tennessee, they definitely have when you commit murder, they definitely have life imprisonment from day one. Ask the Dolph, they don't even listen. They convict you behind on Friday, Monday they sentencing you. That's how serious it is. That's how serious it is. So if you thinking like that's just thinking at this point in time. Like at the end of the day, if one needed an excuse or a reason to back out, you now have one. You have the Sin City Manny situation to be like, you know what? I just grew up. Fuck that. But see, one of the problems that we have in society, especially men, when a man has been disrespected and demasculated, right? They do want to seek that revenge. They never go they want to show you, especially if you made fun of them, right? Imagine having, you know how they say the saying, just so you know, is that you go from sugar to shit. Imagine going from shit to sugar. And then all you want to do is make sure everybody understands that you went to sugar. Live your best life. Don't worry about these people. Don't worry about these people. That's what I be saying. That's why I looked at somebody else and I'm listening to them and I'm saying to myself, Why you keep speaking on me? Why you keep speaking on me? I done told you. You can't protect yourself, and I can't protect you either. I have told folks on here, I cannot protect nobody from any of these people. I can't. It's not within my, it's not with, I'm not built like that. You know, Mo, who came out here 2018, I was slaying mother freaking chosen king. You know, I had my convictions on what I could do. And every step of the way, I learned that the process in place here on YouTube did not support the content creator to defend themselves. It did not protect the creator from the damage that was out here. It didn't protect them adequately enough. You had to build your own mechanism to move on and move around. You have to decide this is not worth it for me and keep it moving. You have to look at the professional instigators, the people that panhandle on the internet, the people that are professional bullies. This is what they do. This is their means of entertainment. And you have to decide if you want your story to be part of their bully plan. You have to determine that. No one else gets to make that decision but you. And then when you decide when you want to stop being bullied by them, all you got to do is move around. All you got to do is continue to be successful for yourself. All you got to do is continue to make relationships that work for you that are not toxic. All you simply got to do is live your best life. That's how you shut them down. Because they sitting over there waiting every single moment they get to talk about what's going on with you. And when you stop talking about some of these people, they come back to remind you that they exist so you could talk about them again. They can't just be happy that nobody's speaking on them. They got to come back and remind you that they was here. Got to go through the whole storyline of what happened. Got to tell it all over again. I tell people that they have substituted people in their life, right? Somebody passes away and they don't have that person to spar with no more, and they go and find somebody else to fill that void. And then they call them out. They just be like, hey, I need you to show me something. They look for the engagement when they don't even need to be worried about it no more. They look for that engagement. Man, you be saying things around here, you be like, oh, this is going to be 2.0. You just got substituted. Remember the movie Chucky? And he needed a body. He didn't care which body he went. He just got on top of it, was like, yo, yo, goo, and took up that spirit. That's what that is. Some people, they live on the drama. They live for it. Now, of course, I'm going to say, I ain't really mentioning no names specifically because guess what? There's so many people that this is applicable to just because of your situations. So, if the theory that I'm discussing fits your life story, you know how I feel around here. If you don't like the way your character is depicting my story, and this is like a broad character right now because so many of you people do this, right? Change the way your character acts, change the way your character behaves. The reason why I'm not calling any specific names about it is because you know who you are. So I don't need to tell you. I don't need to sit here and pop no name out because you know exactly who you are. And you know how miserable you are not to have that engagement. That's why somebody would be trying to tell somebody else, like, hey, why y'all not saying nothing about this? Girl, bye. Go mind your business. Go back over there in your community and stop picking on walls. Like, what? Man, bye. But y'all don't know, people don't know how to do that. People don't know how to do that these days. There's the all power of control. People just want to control other people and see how well they get to do it, how well they get to intimidate folks, if it's going to work. Your days are coming to an end. Unfortunately or fortunately, those days are coming to an end. I'm just like, I just don't think this is. Every time I get to the end, I'm so disappointed. All right, so that's a single. I'm just, I'm just like, okay. I just don't know. All right, I did chain it. I did chain in three. I'm thinking 1, 2, and 3, right? And then I'm gonna chain one and turn, and I'm going to single crochet in here, boom, and then I'm gonna do 7 over here. I should close that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got this side right. 5, 6. Now I don't even know what I'm making this for. At the office, I've made a all right, so that looks good at that end. All right. Just to show y'all the end looks good. That end looks good. Okay. Then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna do to make that close up 1, 2, 3, and that's it. This is a shell stitch, but they're in a uniform row. Anyway, um, I done lost my train of thought on that one. But just stop getting uh, the digital the digital disputes are not worth it. Ooh, all right, well, I'll go over there and look at your beaded bracelets, Miss Risa. Um, I just, you must have been in my brain. So this, I started a long, so what I'm doing, I'm cleaning up. No, it's okay. I'm my extra yarn. So at the office, we made a shawl, right? So it's been interesting because the girl didn't have the pattern, but she made one once upon a crime. So we was going from her memory, and then I was like, I was modifying it along the way. but they are so stinking cute. So we made the short, and now it has got two pockets. So when I finish my second pocket this week, I will bring it home to wash it because I want to wash it in the baby what do you call it? The baby detergent drift or whatever. I want to wash it in that so it could get softer because I used the harder one. And our next project at the office is going to be, what are we making? The next one is a bag. So we're going to make a bag. But this right here is, I had the green left over. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to throw this on the sofa. I'm going to throw this one on the sofa. So I think I got one more skein of green, and that's how I'm going to finish it off, just to finish out the skein. And that's about it. But I'm making more practical stuff, so I'll come and show y'all the sweater. Yes, it is drift because I got it in the I bought it to because sometimes if I make a blanket and I have some of them, I stretch them, I do the blocking method on them, but I don't normally do it all the time. But yeah, ma'am, that's what I'm doing. That's what this is. But you didn't throw me off because I was saying to myself, I said, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I finished the blanket. I will post the picture of the blanket I made. The one with the up and down with the butterflies on it. Oh God, it's so pretty. And then I went and made pillows to go with it. I got one more pillow. I'm making the king size pillowcase, but I had to send off for the purple yarn. And since they closed, what's the name of that store? Since they closed Joann's, and most of my yarn came from Joann's, I had to find the actual wrapping to find the number to the actual thing. So now I done made a whole catalog of the different yarn colors, and that's it. But I got blankets to go. We are also, this is our last project before we get into making our hats and scarves and stuff for the homeless. So cuz in my job we have to do volunteer work. So we have to give back to the community that we service. And one of the things we do feeding the homeless, and we are making so I propose that we do some booties, some like socks like things. And yeah, Michael's has yarn, but they don't have Joann's prices. Joanne had the best sales on a yarn. But these chicks on the internet, they buy special yarn and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like excited. I have my knitting needles though, because I do know how to knit, but I can't remember how to start. I don't remember how to start it. I've had the needle and I can't remember how to start it. But as soon as there's a chick at the job that does knitting, soon as I pin her down to get, I'm gonna make me a sweater. And I think I want to crochet a sweater because that stitch, I wish I had the yarn. I wish I had the other end of this yarn so I could show you that. You know the cable stitch that's at the bottom of the sweaters, girl. I done made so many things with that little stitch. It's crazy. I love it. So I think my next big project, I have knitted in the past a sweater. Now I want to knit a I want to crochet a sweater. And I think I know which pattern I want to use. That's why I'm practicing cuz I want to use a shell pattern. Um oh man. I got a vision in my head because I made T that skirt, and then couple years ago, I made her the whole dress. So I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna be like the Coogee sweater person. Something gonna come out of this internet. I'm gonna be something. One, two, three, four, five. I'm gonna do something. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna do something. And that's it. Anybody want to talk? Anybody want to talk some cases? Cause I could talk some cases. I got a few things. I got a few updates on the Diddy situation. I did look at an interview his attorney did. So I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna this week I'm gonna re-listen to my last video where I discussed my trial tea was on him, and I am going to go back and answer some questions that came up in the chat about him suffrage in the at MDC. They was someone asked me if being eating food with maggots in it, if that was one of the circumstances that could get him out earlier. And his lawyer had answered some of the questions about what they said about the MDC, but then I guess they became mindful of the optics of complaining about MDC while he's still there. So definitely gonna discuss that. And he answered a few other questions that were specific to him being what are their next steps in terms of how they're gonna approach this judge. But I think the reality is who's the mechanic. Tell me what happened to Mackenzie, because there's a couple of cases out here that's a little bit funky. I'm gonna oh, why didn't I bring that book? So YN is it YNW? Yeah, YNW Melly trial. It's not actually pushed back to 2027 because he doesn't have a date. It's so what had happened was the prosecution filed. All right, first of all, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the prosecutors don't like this new judge. And I got a question. Maybe y'all could ask nah, I'll leave that alone. But some other people said they covered the trial a couple of years ago when it happened, right? I need to know what happened to the male black attorney that he had. She drove herself, her boyfriend, and friend into the wall. She survived, they died. All right, so that's the young girl who killed off her two best friends. Yeah, something wrong with that generation, okay? Because this is the yeah, that's why I said remind me of the case. Yeah. Mm, mm, yeah. Mm-hmm. But something wrong with that generation. You understand? Like it's still something wrong with that generation. All right. So in Mr. Demon's case, right? I need to know what happened to the black male attorney. She ain't crazy. That girl is not crazy. That girl is whatever you want to call it, but it's gonna do time. Okay, it's not gonna be an insanity, whatever it is, because she intentionally did that. But we'll have to see. I didn't see the I haven't been following that court case. I'll take a peek at it this week and see what's going on. I was listening to the dude that Doug. After I said I wasn't gonna do the Dougie, I did go over there to see Doug's case. Um, I did go over there to see Doug's case to see what the heck was going on with the guy that killed his wife. And I'm gonna tell you, I only got interested in it because come to find out he married some other chick while this chick was missing, right? So that became interesting to me. That's the moment that it became an interesting case to me. She cut her boyfriend head off and left it in a bucket for his mom to find. Okay. All right. No, every case ain't for me. Every case ain't for me. That's one of them. Okay. Unless something interesting comes out of it, like let me know. But YNW. So they filed the prosecution didn't want to go forward. I think they don't want to go forward with this judge. So the judge was adamant that they were going to start this case next month or in a couple more weeks, right? So then they went and filed a motion. They went and filed an appeal to the higher court saying that some of his decisions were anti them, right? Was prejudicial to them or was biased, whatever. They went and they filed that. So I think it is. All right, so this is not legal advice. Shout out to the other guy in Tennessee, because these Tennessee, what you doing to me? Um, these are conversations that normal people have for the folks in Tennessee. These are conversations that normal people have about things that they see in the in America, or they see happening in the reality. Um, I believe that they didn't have enough. It's unfair to hold somebody incarcerated for 8 years, um, and just keeping them there for 8 years. I did go back recently and start listening to some of the old case, which I was trying not to really do, but there were a few testimonies that I wanted to hear from, right? I wanted to hear the testimony of the medical examiner. I'm talking about why I'm talking about the Demond's case, right? I meant to look up, hold up, let me find my I wanna see something. Oh, just so y'all don't know, so y'all know, I got me a law dictionary. Uh, there is something I want to look up though. Because I really think his constitutional rights are being violated. And I think that the attorneys he has right now, the crazy chick, I would have been got rid of her. But the one, so when they went and got the attorneys, um, when they went and filed the request to pull the attorneys, when they went and they pulled the attorney's cell phone records, right? And then she only found out about it a year later because iPhone, sent over her records to the prosecution. I was saying that they don't want to go forward until they have done whatever they're going to do to the attorney in this case. This reminds me vaguely of the situation going on over there at the YSL case, and you got that attorney on trial, or they indicted. Did they indict her? Um, let's say they filed charges. I'm not sure if it's an indictment. No, it's an indictment because I remember seeing the paperwork and it had numbers written on the top, and I think that's an indictment. So so it's interesting. I can't see them wanting to go forward. I think the prosecution would have went forward with the case as scheduled had he got other attorneys. But being that he kept these attorneys, I believe that they felt whatever they're doing or trying to prove whatever's wrong with the attorneys that he has, or the one attorney that he has, because the mother seems to be having a problem with that lady too. But nevertheless, whatever situation is going on there, they just tried to buy them some time. So I guess the Supreme, whatever court, got to look over their superior court that has to rule on it. Their appellate level court has given themselves an end date, which will be in 2027. But I don't believe that he should be incarcerated that whole time. Without having a trial. So I feel like, although they gave it a date of 2027, and although the judge says that his calendar is full and he can't do that case until 2027, which sounds like, I feel like maybe the judge is retiring or something, and he's trying to get himself out of it too. Or something weird is going on that they all looking for 2027. Um, I don't agree with him being. I don't agree with him staying in. I don't. I don't agree with them detaining people. Period. Right. But in his case, I'm a little bit mixed with it because, oh, most people believe he did it. But as I listen to the evidence, I can see why he ended up with a hung jury, because they told you that the people were shot in the head, in the back of the heads or whatever, inside the car, right? But the person had to be in the car. But they didn't do a good enough job showing that. What they tried to do in the evidence that I saw, they did a whole lot of stuff with text messages and so on and so forth, but the forensics didn't add up. Only That's the case of YW Melly, the rapper in Florida, who's on trial for allegedly executing his two friends. And not just two friends, two business partners, people that he was living in the house with. And it's so crazy because, like, this guy, like, I feel like in my head, right, this how I process this. They didn't do it. They owe somebody some money. So listen to this. According to Melly's story, right? He was in the car with them. He got out the car to take a leak. And when he got out the car to take a leak, they drove off on him, right? Ha ha, you drove off on him, and down the road, somebody shot y'all or shot at the car, right? That's his story. He's sticking to it. Then the other guy drives the driver doesn't get killed in this situation. He drives the car to the local hospital, and his friends is in there, and they're deceased. He doesn't tell the police that Nelly was in the car the whole time, or whatever the guy's name is, YWM wasn't in there. He doesn't disclose that. And then when they do the autopsies and the shots in the car, they say it don't line up because they were already shot before the other bullets hit them. They was already deceased before the other bullets hit them. It was post mortem and et cetera, et cetera. So, and they claim that they got these cell phones, but this generation is the cell phone sharingest ass people I ever did meet. So everybody, all these cases, nobody got their own cell phone. They done gave it to each other. They done gave it to one another. This person's using it. It's not really this one's cell phone. So it's a whole lot of craziness with the cell phones going on. So that's his story, and that's what he's sticking to, right? But the evidence, they didn't get definitive answers from like the coroner. So I believe that jury made the right determination based on the information that they were provided at that time, right? Just like I do not believe, but I'm gonna end with this. I don't believe he should be sitting in jail for 8 years, and that's just I just don't believe that he should just still be sitting there. So I don't know if they could file a writ of habeas corpus. Um, I don't know what they could do. But they are the legal minds, so I'm sure they will try to do something. Um, they will try to do something. I also looked at that portions of that trial that I saw to see his reaction and how he was dealing with it. Of course, the families of the decedents feel like he did commit the crime because they were having some kind of arguments, but between themselves, and he wanted all the money for himself. No. So what happened was he went. It was a mistrial, so they still detained him for a new trial. And they've been going through the process of filing this of proceeding to a new trial. As they're proceeding to a new trial, they have now subpoenaed the lawyers, the attorney, one of his key attorneys, lead attorneys, doc cell phone, because they believe that they was involved in witness intimidation. So they took her cell phone and didn't announce to her that they was even had this kind of request against her cell phone and stuff like this. So these are some of the issues that came out. But the brief that they filed has a whole bunch of other things in it based on decisions that the current judge, because they had a different judge in the first case that was a mistrial, so they got a new judge. They're not happy with the judge's determinations or decisions that he made in rulings against the prosecution, so they filed an appeal. And now, because they filed an appeal while it's pending court, pending trial, they're going to look into it. But I also think that the defense have filed their own appeal about the first case in the first place. No, it's not double jeopardy if it's a hung jury. It's not double jeopardy. It's only if they came back and said that he was not guilty, then they cannot try him again. That would be double jeopardy. So, in the case of Armstrong in Texas, he went to trial 3 times. That's the young man who was ultimately found guilty of the execution of his mother and father in the house. Another case with bad facts, but the the determination was there. But he had went through 3 mistrials before he was found guilty. Um, when a prosecution feels like they have a case, they keep going for it. Now let me see. Um. All right, so that ends the Melly case, but we'll be back because I'm sure it cannot rest here. But the problem he's gonna have is his pockets can't run this deep, but it is still a capital murder. So even if he loses the attorneys that he purchased for himself, right? These are retained by him. He will get court appointed attorneys or could qualify for court appointed attorneys who are going to be high level because it is a death penalty case. Next thing up, even if he is found guilty in the death penalty case, well, few things happen in in Florida. Florida is a 8-12. So you do have a jury of 12, even though you could get 6. But I think when it's a capital murder, they have to have 12. However, they don't have to have unanimous decision where everyone agrees he gets the death penalty. They only need 8 of the jurors to rule in favor of the death penalty for him to get the death penalty. But what does happen is that it automatically triggers an appeal, and on appeal, he could end up walking away. So all of this going on, the 8 years, and if we wait another 2 years, and it'd be 10 years before he's found guilty. And if he's found guilty, the jurors then get to decide 8 to 12, and then I believe they get to go back and decide. First they have to decide if he's guilty. Then they come back and they do the sentencing phase, which is it going to be life? And that's where they decide if it's the 8 to 12, and he gets life. If he goes through that stage and that turns out to be the situation, he then gets an automatic appeal, and they will give him attorneys that will be assigned to it. Most Black people in Florida never get a death penalty case. They give them they will give it a life sentence case. So they'll say this is first degree murder, and we want to give him 25 to life or whatever, or we're going for the life sentence, like they did in the situation with who's the other rapper, Queso, right? They didn't give him a death penalty case. The reason why is because of that automatic appeal. That automatic appeal is a powerful thing to have, especially when the case that the prosecution presents has shiesty facts. Like in Queso's case, I'ma stand on what I heard, and I don't believe I'm not convinced that he was the guy in the passenger seat. I'm still not even convinced that the guy who testified wasn't the person in the that he wasn't the person in the driver's seat. Wait. So on a death penalty case, if they don't give the death penalty, he can walk with no time. No, let me make sure I say that right. Right now it's a death penalty case. So if they find him guilty, then they will come back and they'll have to make by 8 to 12 decision on how to sentence him, if they're going to sentence him to death or if they're going to sentence him to life in prison. But because it's a death penalty case, it goes to automatic appeal. He gets assigned new attorneys to deal with the appeal. And based on what we see going on right now, he could either get a new trial number 3, or he could be set free, because there's a lot of irregularity with this story. The fact that they subpoenaed his attorney's telephone and violated the privilege is crazy. Right. So anything can happen based on everything that has already happened. It is a turnaround. It is the makings of a turnaround. But he's in one of the worst states for this type of stuff to be happening because them Floridians, they don't be playing. They don't play over there. So I hope that clarifies. But I think that's a possibility for him. And the fact that they actually gave him a case that is, well, I think it's because it's the double homicide, which is the same thing that's happening in the Sin City Manny case, right? It's a double homicide. So they giving him the death penalty, right? Because they normally it was done at the same time. It was so egregious. I mean, it was done on the strip. So it is what it is. Let me see who else's case. I'm gonna do the Donald I'm gonna do the Adelson case. Did you hear about her? So of this is a case of the lawyer who was murdered at his home by some gangbangers who were hired by the girlfriend of the deceased man's um wife, who he was in the process of divorcing, and they were in a custody battle situation. So the brother, according to the DA's case, according to the DA, the brother hired the brother who is a dentist hired a hitman from his girlfriend, and she hired her. Is that her baby daddy? It could be a baby daddy, but definitely a boyfriend. I think it was a husband. She hired him and some gangbanger, and they drove from of Florida down there. And went back. They got caught, tied it back to her, and she was the girlfriend of the dentist. The dentist is the thing. The whole family was a dentist. Um, the brother was a dentist and the father was a dentist, and the father and the sister that was married to she's a lawyer. So these are the people. Wendy was a lawyer, and so I watched the trial. Not I watched the trial a couple of years ago when it was the two um the two the two gang members and the girl were on trial. And then the girl was found, they acquitted her because they couldn't, she had a first trial. So then they did a second trial for her because what do you say? It was a mistrial, but they were hung on her. So then she got tried by herself. And they had offered her the opportunity to go free if she would have um turned on the dentist, who's the brother-in-law of the decedent. But she didn't. She went all the way to trial. I believe she had the same attorney that Queso had in his trial because I just remember the lady's voice, but I could be wrong. But in any event, I think it is though. So she was found guilty, and then she came and testified against the dentist. He was so cocky. He went on trial and testified himself, right? He thought he was doing the damn thing. He thought he was doing the damn thing. In any event, he ended up being found guilty. And then his mama, who he's on recordings, that's supposed to have been the person that asked him to do this or was in support of him doing it, she's now on trial for it. So he is supposed to, and it was a whole hell of a mess because She's on she's on trial. She wanted to use the attorneys that he used in his case because that originally was her attorney that she gave to her son. And then when after he got found guilty and was sentenced, he then came, his mama then decides she gonna flee to Vietnam. She bought one-way tickets, her and her husband, to Vietnam, got on a flight. They pulled her, they yanked her off that flight, off the tarmac, and arrested her. She's been incarcerated ever since, pending trial. She's a flight risk. So, a true flight risk. Yo, it's a what the, it's a what the F Wednesday all the way. They definitely fall in that category. Anyway, the attorneys, they went back and forth for years now, right? The attorneys uh so the mother had this set of attorneys that the son used, and then when he got found guilty and was sentenced, he then decided, no, my mother cannot use my attorney. It's a big conflict. These folks act like they didn't understand conflict of interest. So they argued for months with the judge why she should be able to use the same attorney. He's familiar with the case. This will help her with a speedy trial. La 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 la. End of the story. She ended up having to get her own legal team. Her own legal team is knocking it out the box. They don't went in there now. They're going to trial next month. The trial begins next month, but they don't went in there and got a lot of things in her favor. And they already see how the prosecution is going to try to take case. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of rulings were in her favor. Motions at litem um were in her favor. This one, that case is the Donna Adelson. But that's crazy. It's crazy because see, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that case. Like, I don't know if I feel like the mother, I feel like there was an enormous amount of pressure, and just bad decisions was made. But the whole hiring of these people to execute the man in his house was crazy. But he was the decedent was an excellent lawyer. Yeah, yeah, it's Donna, but it's Donna for the mother. That's her trial now. I don't remember what the son's name was. Charlie. Here go Carla. Carla's like, they're all guilty, Monica. Could you please stop it? They're innocent until proven guilty. They're innocent until proven guilty. You've got to believe beyond a reasonable doubt that they were like. So that one, I'm definitely going to watch that one. Um, Not this week. Next week, I'll be watching. Oh, it's Adelson. All right, them people. I'm calling them Addison. Whatever. They don't care. Doing the thug trial, so I'll be live those days. I'm gonna do like everybody else. I'm gonna stream the thug case. This is the this is where they're gonna be talking about the stuff that they seized on his property when it was when they arrested him back in that on that May Day. Um, they guilty of being bad. It's crazy. Yeah, it's something wrong. There's something wrong with them people, though. It's something definitely wrong with them. You know why there's something wrong with them? Because the problem, you know what? That's what's wrong with them. Because they were batshit crazy, he was going to be able to prove it in court, and they would have never got their hands on the children. Notice, though, I was reading the comments inside the chat rooms. Um, the daughter, right? I called her name Wendy. Wendy has, oh, yes, they are. Because, first of all, she got custody of the kids, right? Okay. Wendy's Wendy's definitely they're definitely gonna prosecute her after they do her mama. Because in that trial for the brother, it was discovered, or that's discovered for me, that she drove to the house the day of the execution. She was on the block while it was blocked off and everything, talking about she went to go buy some wine over at the wine store over there, and that's the only wine store that she knew where. Girl, bye. She rolled down the block where they had the block all cut off, and she didn't even say like, "Oh, my children might be over there on that block. My husband lives on that block." Yeah. So I'm just over her, okay? But they said in the chat that she moved to Texas. So we'll see what happened. Not only did they move to Texas, right? Well, let's just say that she got custody of her children and she changed their last name from the husband's last name. And I meant to say that this is both families are Jewish. So this had a lot to do with the Jewish this had a lot this had a lot to do with that. Also, they were having issues about how to raise the children. Um cuz that's why Wendy looks so crazy to me when I be seeing her, cuz I be thinking about the ones that be wearing the wigs, you know the ones that, mhm. Yeah, so that's what makes this interesting. But the brother was like this phenomenal what do you call it, dentist. He had taken after his father. And then they got another son who just got the hell out of Dodge. He don't even associate himself with them. And he don't talk to none of them. I guess he But they said that it was so controlling for him, right? The other son, that um he was he was in love with somebody. I don't know if he married her. I want to tell the story like he was in love with somebody and he married her and they ended up getting a divorce because the mother was so nosy. And then he married the person that his mother wanted him to marry. He ended up getting a divorce from her. And guess who he's with now? He's back with the first woman. So so he ain't messing with them at all. But they all, like, once the husband, right? These are all the grandmother who's on trial now is the mother, right? But she's the grandmother of the decedent's children, right? She had her husband, they was in the airport going to Vietnam. There's like a point where you just be like, listen, I ain't gonna go nowhere. And I mean, that's gonna be the thing, that when people hear that part of the story, that's like an admission of guilt that she was gonna flee. But I guess she could say, I was only gonna flee because y'all just found my son guilty, and I I just felt like y'all gonna find me guilty. I'm out. I'm out. Don't let people, even parents, dictate your relationship. Girl, bye. Them people, for the love of money, money will have, like, we can see things differently. I mean, I'm gonna say we. If it don't apply to you, that's fine. Broke people like me, we see things different. I don't. My parents were never trying to tell me who I could be in a relationship with or couldn't be in a relationship with, because they wasn't paying no attention to that. But these people, they want to control other people, other people's lives. And, you know, if you want their money, then you will live by and abide by their rules. And that's what that's their lifestyle, that's their culture, and that's how they see things. And some of these people, right, when you've been raised with a silver spoon in your mouth, and you gotta go and get it out the dirt, you might not be wanting to get it out the dirt. You might want that silver spoon. So, or can keep that silver spoon treatment. And that's what happens. Let me see. All right. Well, we've been here 90 minutes. Let me see. Anything, any other cases I want to think of off the cuff? Hmm. I'll be so mad because then I'll be like, oh, I just thought of something. I thought of something else. So now, who's this case that you want me to go look at? Because Risa had one. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. Black and yellow, black and yellow. Stop. Black and yellow, All right, so we got the crazy girl with the two boys, but there was one more case you put up here, Risa. I'm looking for the name. Maybe it was the crazy girl. All right, so the Mackenzie case. All right. All right, I'll look at that one. Is it I'm not I I didn't really want to do Doug's court case until the other day when I found out the guy married somebody. Okay, who's Taylor? Who's that person? All right, so yeah, see, this girl look crazy. This girl look touched. Let's just put it like that. Oh, she was convicted. It's over. Did you know that she was convicted? So wait a second. So she went and appealed. They only gave her 15 years. How old was she at the time of the incident? All right, she's 20 now. All right, give me a second. On April 3rd, she got a new defense team. So they basically said her new defense team basically said that the previous trial attorney, failed to present critical medical evidence that could have changed the outcome of her case. That's that crazy. Um, Oh, so they put in an affidavit from the University Hospital's neurologist. Oh, let's see what this is about. Who reviewed her post crash medical data and concluded that the evidence is consistent with loss of consciousness at the time of the fatal wreck. He pointed to her elevated lactate levels, abnormal low blood oxygen, and complete amnesia after the. Oh, yeah, I definitely remember her. I don't remember, man, I don't recall. Seizure related crashes, noting that vehicle trajectory traveling straight into a building without braking is characteristic of drivers who suffer sudden unconsciousness. Her legal team argues that this supports their original defense theory that the crash may not have been intentional, but instead the result of an unanticipated medical episode related to they're gonna call this stuff POTS. Some conditions she had years earlier. So why are you driving? Just help me understand this. Why are you driving? All right. So that's interesting. Let me come back over here. Let me find a different. This is a PDF. All right, I'll read the PDF. Convicted of what are you over here talking about? Yep, the lady's reactions while on trial was mind blowing. Yeah, she attacked her lawyer. I remember. Who's been on? Wait a minute. He's been behind bars for a while now. So will they release him on a bail like situation? Who we talking about? Oh, that was back to Nelly. Okay. I know who you talking about, Melly. Um, I don't know. He's gonna have to request a bond. But you know what? Even if he requests a bond, the problem is they're gonna say that he's a danger to the witnesses because he had the girl that didn't, the girlfriend that disappeared, that reappeared, and she's on an ankle bracelet. Wait a minute. This is a little bigger. Remember the girlfriend, the one that didn't show up to court because she didn't get served or whatever, which is the reason why they requested back to the Melly, the back to the Melly case. Um that girl's on an ankle bracelet. Eh, I'll be definitely come I'll be definitely coming back to court talking about you need to take me off this ankle bracelet since this is not going to take place until 2027. Nobody wants to be on an ankle bracelet that long. And even her mama was on an ankle bracelet because of this court case for a minute. Something wrong with these people. Ain't nobody I'm caring about that much. I have me on a court case on nobody's ankle bracelet. That's just crazy. Man, I be telling you. I don't know. All right. This is coming to the end of my Sunday. I'm gonna pull her case and read it and see what I see inside of it. It might be of interest because this will be on an appeals level. Mm, it give me something else to look at. But yeah, she a little cuckoo, cuckoo. But so is everybody else. So is everybody else. When I decide what planner I'm gonna get, I'll tell y'all. Cause maybe I want to go back into that session where I wanted to do. I was looking at some other people's channels, and they was actually really journaling with their they were journaling on the live stream, actually sitting there writing in their journals and putting this stuff. Girl, all I want to do, let me tell you, all I want to do is come out here and talk about my cases, the things I like on the internet, like the things I like. I don't got time for the other stuff. But eventually, I mean, things will get cleared up because in the digital space, times are a changing, and you just gotta hope for the best. Anyway, this is Mo. I've got to go. I'll be back for what WTF Wednesday and Trial T Thursday. And then next week it's on to thing, and I got time for it next week because I'm just chilling next week. I'm actually chilling half of this week because it's Leo season. Ow. Anyway, keep your head up. Don't get bogged down with these other people's problems. Don't let nobody steal your joy and get you up here arguing with folks about things that don't matter anymore. And be respectful to yourself overall. Anyway, this is Mo. I've got to go. Hey, Nanya, you was hanging out there? Mm, mm, mm. Anyway, good night. Oh, meant to tell y'all something. Now, I only monetize videos when they go on the replay. Because I feel like if you're going to replay, then you should give me some pay. But I don't monetize the live streams. I think that's a good balance. Let's see how that works out. Let's see how that works out in the reality world. Anyway, this is Mo. I've got to go.